All right, let's talk about something huge for Canadian business owners: growth. You know that getting the right equipment is absolutely essential, but man, it's a major expense. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on equipment financing and give you the tools to make some really smart moves for your company.
You've got the vision, right? You can see it. That next level where you're taking on bigger jobs, pumping up your output, the drive is there for sure.
And then, bam, reality hits. That amazing piece of machinery you need has a price tag that can just stop you in your tracks. It's a classic problem, but here's the good news. There's a strategic way around it.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we're going to cover why you should even think about financing. Then, we'll break down the two main options, a loan versus a lease. After that, we'll get into the playbook for landing the best possible deal, look at a really cool advanced move called refinancing, and then we'll wrap it all up into a straightforward action plan for you.
So, first up, why finance at all? Why not just pay cash if you can? Well, it all boils down to protecting your most precious and flexible asset, good old-fashioned cash.
Think about your working capital, the cash you have on hand, as the very lifeblood of your business. It's what pays your people, keeps the lights on, and covers all those little day-to-day costs. Tying up a massive chunk of that in one big purchase can leave you dangerously exposed. Financing lets you get the gear you need to grow while keeping your cash free to actually, run the business.
All right, so you're on board with financing. Now you've hit your first major fork in the road. Should you get a loan or should you lease? They might sound kind of similar, but trust me, they work in fundamentally different ways.
This really breaks down the key difference, and it all comes down to one word: ownership. With a loan, that equipment is yours from day one. It goes on your balance sheet as both an asset and a liability. A lease, on the other hand, is a lot more like renting. The finance company owns it, and you just pay to use it. Now, this can have huge implications, especially for your taxes, since lease payments can often be written off as a simple operating expense. Now, if you're leaning toward a lease but you think you might want to own the equipment down the road, you have to pay attention to the buyout clause. These are two of the most common types. A $1 buyout? That's basically a loan wearing a lease's clothing. But a 10% option gives you some nice flexibility. The bottom line is, you absolutely have to know this detail before you sign anything.
So now you get the what and the why. Let's dive into the how. How to actually get the best possible deal on your financing. This is where a little bit of prep work can save you a ton of money. Okay, your absolute starting point, before you even think about calling a lender, is knowing your credit score. This little number is often the single biggest factor that determines your interest rate. A great score screams low risk, and that gives you serious negotiating power. To put it into perspective, on a $100,000 loan, a few extra points on your credit score could literally save you thousands in interest. Now, a weaker score means you'll probably pay more, but you still have options.
And here is some fantastic real-world advice from the small business community. If you go to a big bank and they shut the door on you because of your credit, do not get discouraged. There are specialized equipment finance brokers out there, and their whole job is to connect people like you with lenders who are way more flexible and willing to look at the bigger picture.
This just gives you a little snapshot of the lending world in Canada. Yeah, the big banks might have the lowest rates, but they're also the pickiest. Then you have these alternative lenders and credit unions who offer way more flexibility. But here's the key takeaway, the most important thing on this slide. Never, ever take the first offer you get. Always shop around. Get at least 2 or 3 different quotes so you can compare.
Okay, once you're talking to lenders, this is your negotiation checklist. Know what the equipment is actually worth, and know your budget inside and out. Your credit score is your biggest weapon, but don't stop there. Make it clear that you're shopping around and have other offers on the table. And honestly, the most powerful tool you have? Being willing to walk away from a bad deal.
And hey, you want to make this whole process go faster, right? Have your paperwork ready before you even start. Lenders just need to confirm who you are, how your business works, and what they're paying for. Walking in with this package all ready to go shows you're organized and serious, and it can shave days, even weeks, off your approval time.
All right, now for something a little more advanced. This is for those of you who already own equipment. There's this powerful strategy called refinancing, and honestly, it can be a total game changer for your cash flow.
So in plain English, you're just taking out a new loan to pay off your old one, and you're using the equipment you already own to back it up. Now, why on earth would you do that? Well, the goal is either to get a much better deal, like a lower interest rate, or to tap into the cash value you've built up in that asset.
I mean, just look at how versatile this is.
It's like a financial Swiss Army knife. You can lower your monthly payments, saving you money right away. You can bundle a bunch of different loans into one simple payment. Or, and this is the really big one, you can pull cash out of your equipment's equity to use for, well, whatever you want in your business.
And get this. This is where it gets really, really powerful. Let's say you paid cash for a new machine 6 months ago. With a sale-leaseback, you can essentially sell that machine to a finance company, and they'll immediately lease it right back to you. They can give you up to 100% of the cash you paid for it, which you can then pump right back into your business. It's an incredible way to unlock capital.
Wow, okay, we have covered a ton of ground. So let's boil all of this down into a clear, simple action plan that you can use the next time you need to buy a piece of equipment.
So here it is. This is your toolkit. Number 1, always protect your cash. Number 2, pick the right path for you, loan or lease. 3, negotiate like a pro. 4, be prepared with all your paperwork. And finally, number 5, don't forget to leverage the assets you already own. If you can master these 5 points, you'll be in the driver's seat.
And I'm just going to leave you with this one last question to chew on. Because when you do it right, financing isn't just about buying something. It's about turning a huge expense into a strategic asset, an asset that actually makes you money and drives your business forward. It's about making sure your equipment is truly working for you. Thanks so much for tuning in.